Some movie ensembles go beyond great storytelling, they launch careers. Today we're diving into films that featured rising stars and unknowns who went on to become household names. These performances help define entire careers and genres alike. At number 20 is Animal House. Originating from a humor magazine, the National Lampoon brand expanded into cinema with this chaotic comedy. Its cast included a mix of budding talent and future legends. Tom Hulce, who would later earn acclaim for his role in Amadeus, and Karen Allen, soon to star in Raiders of the Lost Ark, both appeared early in their careers. While Donald Sutherland was already established, fresh faces like Kevin Bacon were just getting started. Of course, the standout was John Belushi. His wild, unpredictable energy as Bluto helped cement the film's lasting comedic legacy. Coming in at number 19 is Raising Arizona, the Coen brothers' second feature. This quirky crime comedy brought together an ensemble led by Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter, whose chemistry and performances showed they were more than capable leads. Hunter also had a big year starring in Broadcast News, a film that further proved her range. Cage, meanwhile, added this to a growing list of career-defining roles. John Goodman, Randall Tex Cobb, and Frances McDormand all added flavor to the film, the latter building on her collaboration with the Coens after their debut film. At number 18 is The Goonies, a staple of 1980s family cinema. It showcased a group of young actors who would go on to successful careers. Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, Corey Feldman, Martha Plimpton, and Ke-Huy Quan, fresh from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, brought heart and energy to this treasure-hunting adventure. Meanwhile, Joe Pantoliano and Robert Davi added villainous flair, both later becoming recognizable faces in Hollywood. Ranked 17th is Short Term 12. Set in a residential facility for at-risk teens, this indie gem featured powerful performances by a then-rising Brie Larson. Her emotional depth as a group home supervisor hinted at her Oscar-winning future. The film also highlighted the early careers of Rami Malek, Caitlin Dever, and Lakeith Stanfield. Stanfield especially showed early signs of the nuanced performances he'd bring to films like Judas and The Black Messiah. Number 16 is The Big Chill, a film focused on a group of college friends reuniting after a tragedy. The ensemble included Jeff Goldblum, Glenn Close, Kevin Kline, Tom Berenger, and William Hurt, actors who were all reaching the height of their fame during the 1980s. Interestingly, Kevin Costner was originally cast as the deceased friend whose death sparks the reunion, but his scenes were ultimately cut. Despite that, the remaining cast, paired with a memorable soundtrack, delivered heartfelt and compelling performances. Landing at number 15 is Superbad, a teen comedy that became a modern classic. Written by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, the film's success hinged on its perfectly cast leads, Jonah Hill and Michael Cera, who had both found their comedic rhythm. Emma Stone made her debut here, launching a career that would include an Academy Award. Bill Hader and Christopher Mintz-Plasse, particularly the latter as the unforgettable McLovin, added to the film's unique and hilarious character lineup. At number 14 is Dead Poets Society. Robin Williams may be the soul of this emotional drama, but the cast around him added authenticity and weight. Ethan Hawke, Robert Sean Leonard, and Josh Charles played students discovering the power of poetry and self-expression. Under Peter Weir's direction, they delivered sincere, moving performances. Hawke has even credited Williams with helping him land his first agent, proof of the lasting impact behind the scenes as well. Next is The Last Picture Show at number 13. Peter Bogdanovich adapted Larry McMurtry's novel and cast a group of mostly new faces including Jeff Bridges, Timothy Bottoms, Sybil Shepherd, and Randy Quaid. Bridges earned an Oscar nomination, while veteran performers like Ben Johnson and Cloris Leachman won for their supporting roles. The result is a layered, powerful portrait of small-town life in 1950s Texas. At number 12 is Platoon, Oliver Stone's deeply personal take on the Vietnam War. A young Charlie Sheen took center stage, surrounded by future stars like Johnny Depp and Kevin Dillon. Veterans like Tom Berenger and Willem Dafoe earned Oscar nods for their gripping portrayals. The ensemble gave life to a harrowing, unforgettable war story. Number 11 is The Godfather. While Marlon Brando was already an icon, the film introduced audiences to newer talents like Al Pacino, Diane Keaton, and James Caan. Pacino's casting was initially met with resistance, but his performance as Michael Corleone is now considered one of the greatest in film history. This lineup would go on to shape American cinema for decades. At number 10, Pretty in Pink stands tall as one of John Hughes' most beloved teen dramas. Molly Ringwald stars as a working-class high schooler caught between love and friendship. After standout roles in 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club, Ringwald shines again here. Andrew McCarthy plays her affluent love interest, while John Cryer is unforgettable as the quirky and devoted Ducky. Their chemistry brought authenticity and heart to this coming-of-age classic. Cryer's energetic performance hinted at the success he'd later achieve on TV, and even James Spader's early role as the icy antagonist added lasting impact. The ensemble helped elevate this film into a 1980s milestone. Coming in at number 9, Clueless reimagines Jane Austen's Emma in a colorful 1990s high school setting. Alicia Silverstone's turn as the charming yet self-absorbed Cher Horowitz made her a teen icon overnight. The film also helped launch careers for Paul Rudd in his debut, and the late Brittany Murphy, who brought vulnerability to her role. Donald Faison, Breckin Meyer, Stacey Dash, and Eliza Donovan rounded out the cast, each adding personality to a film that remains both a fashion reference point and a pop culture landmark. At number 8, The Magnificent Seven brings together a dream team of early action legends. Yul Brynner anchors the Western as Chris Adams, a stoic leader recruiting hired guns to defend a Mexican village. Among his crew are rising stars Steve McQueen, Charles Bronson, and James Coburn, each delivering charisma and grit that would define their careers. Eli Wallach plays the villain with flair, foreshadowing his legendary work in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Decades later, this cast remains a benchmark for ensemble excellence. At number 7 is Trainspotting, a gritty, stylish adaptation of Irvin Welsh's novel, directed by Danny Boyle. The film features Ewan McGregor in a breakout role as Renton, a young man caught in the chaos of addiction. He's joined by an electric supporting cast: Robert Carlyle, Johnny Lee Miller, Ewan Bremner, and Kelly MacDonald. Their dynamic performances gave the film its chaotic energy and emotional resonance. Trainspotting endures as a landmark of British cinema thanks in large part to its fearless cast. Number 6 is School Ties, a 1992 drama that tackled themes of prejudice and integrity at an elite prep school. Brendan Fraser stars as a Jewish student hiding his identity to fit in. The cast also features young Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Chris O'Donnell, and Cole Hauser, many of whom would later become major Hollywood players. Damon and Fraser in particular showed the depth that would define their careers. This thoughtful film was an early showcase for a remarkable generation of talent. At number 5, Dazed and Confused captures the vibe of 1970s teen life with unmatched authenticity. Richard Linklater's cult classic highlights a sprawling cast of future stars. Matthew McConaughey made his cinematic debut as the laid-back Wooderson, delivering one of the most quoted lines in film history. Parker Posey, Joey Lauren Adams, and even Mila Jovovich added style and humor to the ensemble. With Linklater's relaxed direction, the young cast delivered naturalistic performances that helped define a decade of indie film. Which rising star cast is your favorite? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the best moments in movie history and pop culture.